Cancer, listen to me right now, because what I'm seeing in these cards is absolutely insane, and 73% of you are about to experience this exact energy within the next 21 days. They are literally losing their minds that you walked away. And you know what the craziest part is? Everyone thinks walking away makes you weak, but actually it's making them completely unhinged because they're realizing they lost their control over you. I just pulled the Eight of Swords, and oh my God, Cancer, this is not what you think. This isn't about you being trapped anymore. This is about them being mentally imprisoned by their own rage and obsession over your departure. The blindfold, the swords surrounding them, that's their mental state right now. They're stuck in their own toxic thought patterns, replaying every moment you decided you were done with their nonsense. But wait, it gets even wilder because in the next 14 days you're going to witness something that will make your jaw drop. I'm seeing them take their fury out on literally everyone around them. Their friends, their family, their coworkers, random people at the grocery store. Nobody is safe from their meltdown. The energy I'm picking up right now is so intense that I literally had to put my cards down for a minute. Members in my private community saw this energy building last week, and they've been messaging me non-stop about experiencing this exact scenario. One member said her ex started arguments with 3 different people in one day after she blocked him. Cancer, you need to understand something crucial. When you walked away, you didn't just leave a relationship or situation, you shattered their entire reality. They built their whole identity around having you as their emotional dumping ground, their safety net, their constant source of validation. Now that you're gone, they're like a house of cards in a hurricane. Here's what's happening in their twisted mind right now. They wake up every morning expecting to see your name on their phone. They check your social media obsessively, hoping you'll come crawling back. But instead of seeing you broken and begging, they see you thriving. They see you posting pictures with genuine smiles. They see you engaging with other people. They see you living your best life without them in it. And that realization is making them absolutely rabid. The second card that jumped out at me is the Five of Wands, and this is where things get really messy for them. This card traditionally represents conflict and competition, but in this context, it's showing me how they're creating chaos everywhere they go. They're picking fights with their siblings, starting drama at work, being hostile to service workers, snapping at their own friends for the most ridiculous reasons. Why? Because they're trying to recreate the dynamic they had with you. They're desperately seeking someone else to be their emotional punching bag, but nobody else is willing to put up with their toxic behavior the way you did for so long. You were so patient, so understanding, so willing to make excuses for their terrible treatment of you. But now that you've removed yourself from their equation, they're realizing that literally nobody else will tolerate their garbage. Their friends are starting to avoid them. Their family members are screening their calls. Their coworkers are complaining to HR about their attitude. They're burning bridges left and right because they can't handle the fact that you had the strength to walk away. Cancer, I need you to really hear this next part because it's going to save you from making a huge mistake. Right around day 18 or 19 after you walked away, they're going to try something that might catch you off guard. They're going to reach out to you, but not directly. They're going to use other people as messengers. They might have their mom call you saying they're worried about them. They might have a mutual friend casually mention how much they miss you. They might even create fake emergencies or health scares to try to pull you back into their web of dysfunction. Do not fall for it. This brings me to the third card, and you're going to love this one. The Hermit showed up, and at first I was confused because this is usually about soul searching and inner wisdom. But then the message became crystal clear. The Hermit isn't representing them going inward to heal and grow. Oh no. The Hermit is showing me their isolation. They're becoming increasingly alone because their toxic behavior is pushing everyone away. The Lantern in the Hermit card, That's them desperately searching for someone, anyone, who will give them the same energy you used to provide. But the light is dim and getting dimmer because nobody wants to deal with their drama anymore. This is actually the most beautiful form of cosmic justice, Cancer. You spent so much time trying to fix them, trying to love them back to health, trying to be their emotional support system. But the universe had a different plan. The universe needed you to step back so they could face the consequences of their own actions. And let me tell you, the consequences are harsh. I'm talking about them having full-blown meltdowns in public places. I'm seeing some of them getting fired from jobs because they can't control their temper. Some are losing friendships they've had for years because they're taking their rage out on innocent people. The fourth card that appeared is Justice, and this is giving me chills because the timing is so perfect. Justice isn't just about karma, it's about balance being restored to the universe. For so long, the scales were tipped in their favor. They got to be abusive, manipulative, controlling, while you absorbed all the negative energy and tried to keep the peace. But now the scales are balancing out. They're experiencing the isolation and rejection they put you through. They're feeling the frustration and helplessness they made you feel. They're getting a taste of their own medicine and they are not handling it well. I'm seeing some of them having complete breakdowns. Like full-on crying, screaming, throwing things, punching walls type of breakdowns. Because for the first time in their lives, they're facing the reality that their actions have consequences. Cancer, your decision to walk away wasn't just about protecting yourself, though that was incredibly important. Your decision was also about forcing them to confront who they really are without you there to enable their bad behavior. And what they're discovering about themselves is ugly. They're seeing that without you to manipulate and control, they don't actually know who they are. They're realizing that without you to blame for their problems, they have to take responsibility for their own lives. They're understanding that without you to fix their messes, they have to clean up after themselves. And that is why they're so angry. Not just because you left, but because you leaving exposed them for who they really are underneath all their manipulative tactics. The fifth card is the Devil. And this is where the reading gets really intense. The Devil represents addiction, obsession, and being chained to toxic patterns. But here's the twist. It's not about you being chained to them anymore. You broke those chains when you walked away. The Devil is showing me their obsession with you now. They're addicted to checking your social media. They're obsessed with finding ways to get your attention. They're chained to their own anger and resentment. They can't let go because letting go would mean admitting they were wrong, and their ego won't allow that. I'm seeing some of them creating fake accounts to spy on you online. Some are driving by places they know you frequent, hoping to bump into you accidentally. Others are asking mutual friends invasive questions about your life, trying to gather intel on how you're doing without them. This obsessive behavior is consuming them from the inside out. They're not eating properly, not sleeping well, not taking care of themselves because every waking moment is spent thinking about you and how to get you back under their control. But here's what they don't understand, Cancer. You're not the same person who walked away. The experience of standing up for yourself and choosing your own well-being has transformed you. You're stronger, wiser, more confident than you were before. Even if they somehow managed to manipulate you back into their life, you wouldn't be the same compliant person they remember. The sixth and final card is the Star, and this is the most beautiful message for you, Cancer. While they're spiraling into chaos and self-destruction, you're healing and finding hope again. The Star represents renewal, inspiration, and spiritual guidance. You're reconnecting with your own dreams and aspirations that got buried under their negativity. I'm seeing you discovering parts of yourself that you forgot existed. Maybe you're picking up old hobbies you abandoned because they didn't approve. Maybe you're reconnecting with friends you lost because they isolated you. Maybe you're pursuing goals you put on hold because all your energy was going into managing their emotions. The Star in this card is your light, Cancer. It's been there all along, but it was dimmed by their toxic presence in your life. Now that they're gone, your light is shining brighter than ever, and it's attracting positive people and opportunities into your world. Meanwhile, they're sitting in their self-created darkness, wondering why everyone is avoiding them, wondering why nothing in their life is working out, wondering why they feel so empty and angry all the time. They're getting a crash course in cause and effect, and the lessons are brutal. Comments are absolutely going crazy right now with people sharing their own stories of walking away from toxic situations. Sarah just commented that her ex started 3 different arguments at his workplace after she left and got written up by his boss. Michael shared that his toxic friend lost 2 other friendships within a month of him cutting contact because they couldn't handle not having him as their emotional dumping ground anymore. Cancer. I want you to remember something as you watch this chaos unfold from a safe distance. You are not responsible for their emotional regulation. You are not responsible for their happiness. You are not responsible for fixing their broken patterns. You tried to help them for so long, and they chose to stay stuck in their toxicity. Their current meltdown is not your fault. Their inability to maintain other relationships is not your fault. Their rage and bitterness and isolation is not your fault. These are the natural consequences of their choices, their behavior, their refusal to take accountability for their actions. The universe is showing them what life looks like when they can't use you as their emotional crutch anymore, and clearly they don't like what they see. But that's their problem to solve, not yours. In about 25 to 30 days, you're going to hear through the grapevine that they've either had a major wake-up call and are actually trying to change, or they've doubled down on their toxic behavior and pushed even more people away. Either way, it won't be your concern anymore because you'll be too busy living your amazing new life. I'm getting messages from Spirit that some of you are feeling guilty about their suffering. Don't. You gave them countless opportunities to treat you better. You communicated your needs clearly. You set boundaries that they trampled on repeatedly. You tried patience, understanding, compromise, and nothing worked because they didn't want to change. Walking away wasn't cruel, Cancer. It was necessary. It was self-preservation. It was you finally valuing yourself enough to refuse unacceptable treatment. And if that makes them angry, if that makes them lash out at everyone around them, if that forces them to face some uncomfortable truths about themselves, then so be it. You cannot love someone into being a better person. You cannot sacrifice your own well-being to fix someone else's brokenness. You cannot set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. These are lessons you learned the hard way, but now you know them in your bones. The energy around you right now is absolutely electric with possibility. I'm seeing new romantic connections for some of you, but these will be with emotionally mature people who respect your boundaries from day one. I'm seeing career opportunities opening up because you now have the mental and emotional energy to focus on your own goals instead of constantly managing someone else's drama. For others, I'm seeing spiritual awakenings and creative breakthroughs. When you remove toxic people from your life, you make space for magic to enter. Your intuition gets stronger, your creativity flows more freely, your natural joy and optimism return. Meanwhile, they're probably Googling things like how to get someone back who wants nothing to do with you or how to make someone miss you after they blocked you. They're reading articles about winning back an ex instead of reading articles about how to become a better person. They're focused on manipulation tactics instead of genuine self-improvement. This tells you everything you need to know about their true character, Cancer. Even in their rock-bottom moment, even when they're losing everyone around them, even when their toxic behavior is destroying their own life, they're still trying to figure out how to control you rather than how to heal themselves. My private community members have been sharing the most incredible transformation stories after walking away from toxic situations. The confidence boost, the mental clarity, the return of their natural personality that got suppressed under all that negativity. It's like watching people come back to life. Cancer, I need you to promise me something right now. Promise me that no matter how pathetic they seem during their meltdown phase, no matter how much they claim to have changed, no matter what sob story they come up with, you will not go back. You've already seen who they really are when the mask slips. You've already experienced their true nature when they thought they had you locked down. People can change, but it takes years of consistent effort and professional help. It requires genuine accountability and a complete dismantling of their manipulative patterns. The likelihood of someone who was toxic enough to drive you away having that kind of breakthrough is extremely low. Don't let their temporary suffering fool you into thinking they've had a permanent transformation. Don't let their current chaos make you feel responsible for rescuing them again. They created this situation through their own choices, and they need to find their own way out of it. Your job now is to focus on your healing, your growth, your dreams, your happiness. Let them figure out their own lives without using you as a crutch. Let them learn to regulate their own emotions without using you as a punching bag. Let them discover who they are without you there to enable their worst impulses. The cards are showing me that by day 45, the intensity of their rage will start to burn itself out. Not because they've healed or grown, but because rage is exhausting to maintain. They'll either find someone new to fixate on, or they'll sink into a depression, or they'll actually start doing the work to change themselves. But by that point, you'll be so far into your new life that their emotional state won't even register on your radar anymore. You'll be too busy being happy, too busy pursuing your goals, too busy enjoying healthy relationships with people who actually deserve your amazing energy. Cancer, the universe removed this person from your life as a gift. It might not have felt like a gift at the time. It might have felt like loss, like failure, like heartbreak. But now you can see it for what it really was, a liberation. You're free from walking on eggshells around their unpredictable moods. You're free from making excuses for their bad behavior to your friends and family. You're free from constantly second-guessing yourself because of their gaslighting. You're free from sacrificing your own needs to manage their emotions. And while they're over there having a complete meltdown because they lost their favorite target, you're over here discovering what peace feels like again. You're remembering what it's like to go through a whole day without drama or conflict. You're experiencing what healthy relationships look like when both people actually respect each other. The comments section is absolutely on fire right now with people saying they're going through this exact same situation. Jennifer just shared that her toxic ex got kicked out of his friend group after she left because nobody else wanted to deal with his constant complaining and negativity. Marcus said his former business partner started alienating clients left and right after their partnership ended because he couldn't handle the stress without someone to blame everything on. This is the pattern, Cancer. When toxic people lose their primary target, they don't magically become better people. They just redirect their toxicity toward whoever is closest. And surprise, surprise, normal people don't stick around for that kind of treatment. As we wrap up this reading, I want you to feel proud of yourself for having the courage to walk away. I want you to feel excited about your future because it's looking incredibly bright. I want you to feel confident in your decision because the cards are showing me that you made the absolute right choice. They can rage all they want. They can take their anger out on everyone around them. They can isolate themselves through their own bad behavior. They can spend every waking moment obsessing over you and what they lost. None of that is your problem anymore. Your only job is to keep moving forward, keep growing, keep healing, and keep protecting the peace you fought so hard to create. You've got this, Cancer. The universe has your back, and your future is looking absolutely amazing. Subscribe now if this reading resonated with your soul, because your future literally depends on staying connected to these messages. The energy shifts coming your way are going to be life-changing, and you don't want to miss a single update. If you want deeper insights into your personal journey and what's coming next, you know where to find me.